Welcome to mGov Manager Training. This module will cover the mGov roadmap. There are two guiding documents for the transition to mGov for entities to follow to assist and facilitate in their transition. These are the mGov guidelines and the mGov roadmap. These two documents were created in 2013 after His Highness launched the mGov initiative. These two documents will help entities transition overall. The mGov roadmap is broken into 4 tracks. The first track is establish the environment for mGov to flourish. Second track, assess capability and capacity. Track number 3, establish shared resources across the government. And track number 4, perhaps the most important, is to achieve citizen happiness. In this module, we'll only cover the first track. But first, to cover some general government enhancements that we hope to come from mGov and SmartGov transition. mGov enhancements may be related to existing eGov services or in the creation of brand new mGov services. Firstly, there is a direct conversion from e-government services. Some services may be reasonable for direct transition from the current e-service to the m-service. Secondly, citizen-centric services is the current goal. Citizen-centric means focused on the citizens. Therefore, those services that best and most serve citizens should be prioritized first. Third, services for mobile workers should come into consideration. Citizens who work in jobs such as law enforcement, mobile health, building inspectors, there are ways to innovate in mGov to increase their efficiency on the job. Also, flexible work should be considered. This is a new concept to many entities, but flexible work gives employees the opportunity to work from any location, anywhere, any day of the week, 24 hours a day. Some major concepts that we find in the roadmap are: you should consider the complexity of your project before you begin. This will allow you to balance and prioritize the work specifically. This is an ongoing effort. It must be constantly reevaluated and monitored to always be able to provide the most effective services. Again, the roadmap is broken into 4 tracks. Track 1, establish the environment for mGov to flourish. Track 2, assess capability and capacity. Track 3, establish shared resources at the national level. And track 4, achieve citizen happiness. We'll cover track 1. This track contains milestones for the transition to mGov. This track is focused on creating a solid foundation for mGovernment transition. Entities must establish strong, knowledgeable management teams in order to plan, execute, and monitor the mGov transition. Each of the tracks contain significant milestones. In the first track, for establish the environment, these milestones include establishing the Program Management Office, or PMO, identifying stakeholders, the structure and the operations of entities, considering the mobile value chain, providing affordable public access, establishing the legal base, and capacity building. The Program Management Office is responsible for implementing the mGov roadmap for organizations. It is an overreaching organization within the organization that decides roles, activities, and core responsibilities. It sets the guidelines, policies, standards, and best practices for the organization. The PMO enables collaboration and coordination between entities and internally as well. A strong PMO means you'll have a strong mGov implementation. It's important that entities establish a PMO so that everyone is doing the same work. If we establish a PMO and set policies, everyone does the same work. When identifying the stakeholders, it's important to ask who are the stakeholders for mGov. mGov stakeholders are residents, employees, citizens, visitors, businesses, and even internet service providers. Someone who is a stakeholder has a vested interest in the mGov success. Strong stakeholder relationships contribute heavily to transformation success. If you don't have the support of your stakeholders, you will find that adoption of new services is very weak and your efforts will be fruitless. We value partnerships both internally and externally. Understanding the structure of entities is extremely important to mGov's success. The vision of mGov is shared resources across entities and across the nation. mGov is a nationwide view, and it differs from the previous e-government platform, which was developed by individual emirates. This interconnected view may be challenging at first, but it is critical for the entities to share information for a successful integration. There will be varying levels of IT maturity across the country, and historically there has been more competition than cooperation. Working with all government entities will enable management to better assess and plan for mGov strategies across the nation. A mobile value chain is a business concept. When we consider each part of our mobile business plan as adding value every step of the way. A value chain is the process by which a company adds value to their services. A strong mobile sector is essential to support this countrywide initiative. This also introduces a healthy competition and fuels affordable and convenient services. The value chain is important for the overall final product that we produce. If there is a weak link in our value chain, it must be identified and removed. Currently, the legal base in UAE is not very strong to support the mGov transition. Currently, there are very few laws that support vendors, businesses, entities, and even individuals in this effort. It's important that we work to strengthen the legislation around mobile and smart government services. Capacity building, which will also be discussed in the second track of the roadmap, is the ability for organization to grow, the ability to serve more customers. Policymakers must analyze current capability levels and take proactive steps to ensure a smooth transition. Questions like, what currently exists? What do we need? What are we missing? And where are the gaps? These are questions that are important to evaluate the current capacity of the mGov and SmartGov structure. We'll raise awareness of mobile services, restructure business processes, and support education for new technology. These are all ways to build the current capacity of government entities. This ends the module on the mGov roadmap, part 1.